stickers and prints are here. I opened up a shop not that long ago and I put up a bunch of originals that I thought were the best representation of my work. But I've been waiting for these stickers and prints because obviously originals are not necessarily very cheap. I do have some that are like $30 because of the size that they are in my shop, but in general, originals are not as cheap as buying a print. So I've been waiting for these eagerly. I ordered them from Vograce because I've used them before for keychains, and I really liked the quality. And unfortunately, they take a hot minute to arrive in the US. It took almost 3 weeks, which is not terrible, but it takes a minute for them to like approve your designs and then for them to get back to you and for you to approve the designs and then for it to actually ship. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, I love them. And then prints. So, let's start with these. These wound up being double-sided because I couldn't figure out their process for making them single-sided. And I tried to include it in my email and I just don't know that they understood what I was talking about, which seems weird to me as a company that makes prints, but these are double-sided for whatever reason. But I have this design, which these are like matte and they feel so nice. So I have that design, and I picked the designs that both I like the best and that the internet seems to like the best, according to like my TikTok and Instagram. I've never really sold prints before, so I wanted to like make sure that they were a higher quality, which is why I went with a printing service instead of like doing them on my like home printer. I do have a really good printer, but this just seemed more cost effective since these are all like high quality color photos. Or illustrations. And then this guy is for my November Patreon. This one is for Patreon, and I have stickers here. These little guys are also for Patreon. And then whatever doesn't go up in Patreon, because I don't have a lot of patrons, will just go up in my shop. But this little sticker guy. They were doing a deal on trying out holographic ones, so I did my first run of Patreon stickers as holographic ones, partly for fun and partly in case that would make more people want to follow me on Patreon. I have 2 patrons right now, one of which is free and one who doesn't pay in a tier that gets things. So this is really mostly wishful thinking, and these will wind up in my shop because I just don't have any patrons. But I wanted to start even though I didn't have the support. So we started, and then I have this guy. So these are all going to be listed in my shop by the end of today. And then, yeah. Oh, I love these. This turned out so good. This was originally a marker illustration. It's so cool. I love it. I'm so happy with everything. Everything looks so nice. So I am a proponent of starting things before you're probably ready. And I have had a shop before in the past for stickers that I made myself with like my Cricut. And that did okay, but it was a lot of work and I had to make everything, which is why this time around I decided that I was not going to make the things aside from actually making the art and making like the originals. Most of the things on my Shopify are going to be things that are professionally made by someone that is a professional, not by me. I also have a calendar on my Patreon, or not my Patreon. I also have a calendar on my Shopify that is printed by a company called Gelato that you order it through my Shopify and then they are the ones that actually build the calendar and ship it out. I felt like going into a shop a second time around, I have learned some things. This is technically my third shop that I have had over the course of my life. I originally started on Etsy at one point, way back, like 8 or 9 years ago. And I cannot recommend Etsy. I had some success because people would find me in their search algorithm, but Etsy itself has so many fees and is so difficult to work with. I cannot recommend Etsy, and it was because of Etsy that I closed my shop. I just was not prepared to continue to deal with them. And I took a few years, and I was like, I didn't really see a ton of success. I just was like moderately enjoying the process more than actually seeing a monetary gain. And at the time, that was more important to me. So I just stopped with Etsy. And then a few years ago, I opened up a shop on Big Cartel, and I really liked them, but they have a limit of how many things that you can list. And I knew this time around that I wanted to list originals. So I decided to go with Shopify this third time. And like I said before, with my second shop, I was mostly making stickers, and I was making them on my Cricut and having to like hand laminate them, and that was just not good for my mental health. Like, it was fine in terms of it being doable, but it wasn't good for my mental health. So having grown and learned from the shop process, this time around we're doing things differently, and I am already so happy with how these look. These are just so nice. So yeah, I feel like this is a really good decision. So now I'm going to take product photos. I have a really nice wood floor in my office, so I usually take product photos there. In the past, I have used scrapbooking paper and done photos on top of scrapbooking paper. I don't have any currently that would really look nice with these particular color palettes. They were very much geared toward like super pastel, cutesy things and less the fantasy vibe. So I'm gonna go with my flooring for taking the photos. And generally I take one photo where things are sitting on the floor and then one where I'm holding it. And then I just crop out things that need to be cropped out and edit it to make sure that the colors are truer to life than they might be with the lighting that I have, to make it as accurate as possible for the customer. And I do all of my photo editing on my phone. I don't put it through like Photoshop or anything like that. I don't have Photoshop, and it seems to work for me just fine. So I got all of my product photos taken. I listed everything on my website, and overall it only took about maybe a half an hour to list all of the items. It was a fairly quick process. I don't go into like a lot of detail in my descriptions and stuff, and they're pretty much all the same for each of the different styles of prints because they're all the same size. So it wasn't like a ton of extra added time. So that's basically how I set up my shop this time around. Hopefully it will do better than they have in the past. I guess I leave that up to your hands, viewers of my art and channel, and whether or not you like my art enough to want to have it in your house. But in the meantime, it'll be there waiting for you. And yeah, if you want to, start a shop, I think that you should just start, even if there are other things like in the way. Like, it's not that intense. Like, it is and it isn't, but like, you can get envelopes and cardboard backing and like little plastic bags and stuff, all from Amazon for like relatively inexpensive amounts of money. You can get boxes of like hard cardboard envelopes to like ship prints in. Like, I think realistically you could start a shop in about $100, not including like actually having products. But I think you could probably, actually, no. I think if you were going to use a company like Vogue Race, depending on how many products you were going to start with, you could probably do it for $100. You wouldn't have everything that you could possibly think of that you might want, but you would have a lot. I think it's fairly doable. So yeah, if you would like anything from my shop, please feel free to go to my Shopify. It is in my description for the video, as well as my bio on YouTube. My apologies that I didn't realize I was filming this in the wrong format until 5 minutes ago. Many hours later, after having already edited the rest of the video, didn't notice. So we all have a learning curve. Some days you just show up and you do what you can. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that you feel inspired to start a shop if you're going to. If you have any kind of questions, please leave them in the comments. This is by no means it's more of a shop update for me than it is a how-to. But if you want a video detailing more of the specifics of what kinds of things do you need before you start, and what kinds of things should you be looking at, and who are some companies that you can work with, and that kind of stuff, I have some experience, so I would be more than happy to make a video like that if anybody wants to watch it. So feel free to leave comments like that in the comments below, and I will kind of go from there. So whatever it is that's more interesting to you, just let me know, and I will be back with more art content very shortly, because I have an entire box of new Ohuhu markers sitting directly next to me. So we will be right back. Have a great night, guys. Bye.